Church, praise the Lord. Church, praise the Lord.
Beware, you do not forget the Lord your God by keeping his commandments.
Church of England, also referred to as the Anglican Church, is a part of the global Anglican Communion, which has 39 provinces. The Anglican Church of Kenya is a province of the Anglican Communion. The Anglican Communion is headed and led by the Archbishop of Canterbury. In Kenya, the Anglican Church dates back to 1844 when Johann Ludwig Kraft and Johann Rebmann began the Church Missionary Society in Rabai. St. Stephen's Church started as a moderately sized church made of timber and corrugated iron on Jackson Road near the National Assembly building. The church was nicknamed the Tin Tabernacle. This was the first Anglican church to be planted in Nairobi.
St. Stephen's was built during the colonial days. When the white people came, they are people of class, so they classified people according to who they are. All Saints Cathedral was a church for the white people. St. Stephen's, which was where Parliament sits, was for the middle class people.
Bishop William George Peel laid the foundation stone on December 1903, and the church was consecrated on St. Stephen's Day in 1904. With an ever-growing congregation, the church was overdue for an expansion, and the foundation stone for a bigger church was laid on the 23rd of June 1923. Later, the church would be moved to Donholm Road, now Jogoo Road, to make way for the Parliament buildings.
St. Stephen's was planted in 1903 along Jackson Road. By then it was called Jackson Road in town. Today is Parliament Road. And in 1923 June, they started constructing a permanent building in town, and a foundation stone was laid. That foundation stone is now here with us.
Kanisa lilibomolewa lile, likaletwa hapa, ndio parliament ikajengwa. Hata hivi viti bunaona pale hapa ni vile vilikuwa vinatumika kule Jackson Road, kanisa la Jackson Road. Na ilikuwa hiyo design hilo kanisa la wakati huo ilikuwa ndio the same design mpaka hivi sasa, ambayo walikuja tu it's like a copy. Hii ni photocopy ile ilikuwa kule.
Reginald Percy Craig, who was the Bishop of Mombasa Diocese, laid the foundation stone for St. Stephen's Church, Jogoo Road on 26th December 1952. Bishop Reginald later consecrated the church on the 27th day of September 1953.
Nilizaliwa 1932. Ikifika mwaka wa 52 nilitoka hapa nikaenda Nairobi, tukaanza kuishi huko. Kufika
1937 nilizaliwa mwezi wa 10 tarehe 10. Baba alikuwa akiandika hapa Nairobi, ilikuwa bado kichaka huko.
Wakati huo St. Stephen ilikuwa bado inajengwa, lakini ikifika mwaka wa 1953 Mungu akanipatia mtoto. Huyo mtoto anaitwa Dan. Dan alibatizwa huko town. Wakati huo watu walikuwa naomba town, si hapa. Kwa sababu hiyo St. Stephen ilikuwa bado inajengwa.
62 ndio nilianza St. Stephen. Nilikuwa na watu wengi. St. Stephen nilikuwa tu nakaa na watu wengi tangu zamani. Tangu zamani.
Mtoto wangu wa pili anaitwa Dorothy. Yeye ndiye alitangulia kubatizwa hapo St. Stephen. 1955 April 18.
The church became a significant landmark in Eastlands. It served a vibrant congregation made up of civil servants and workers from the East African Railways Company who lived in various estates such as Makongeni, Government Quarters, Bahati, Mbotela, Landi Mawe, Mudhurwa, Shauri Moyo, Makadara and Maringo Estate.
Wale zamani walikuwa naita PWD hapo opposite ya Kalolini na Pida. Sijui siku hizi wanaitaje. Tuliishi hapo.
I am very associated with this church right from the beginning, because even as a young boy, I played in the sun of this church as it was being constructed, because my father was a railway employee and we lived just next door in Makongeni here. And that's how I came to know about this church. We used to pray at St. John's from one in the early days. And also there was a church near where we have National Assembly. But with this one, it was a great achievement for the people of Eastlands, we people of the Anglican Church.
St. Stephen's Cathedral was an interesting place, a great place to be. Great people, the very top in society, and those who are down there in society.
Reverend Canon Elijah Gashanja would later become the first African vicar in 1957.
Alinibatiza ni yule alikuwa vika wa kwanza hapa Mwafrika. Alikuwa anaitwa Mzee Elijah Gashanja. Ndiye alinibatiza mimi na yule dangu kubwa kule huko Jackson Road.
My parents were Godson Gashigi and Rebecca Washeke. But they were Christian martyrs, and they were murdered in the early 50s at the time of Mau Mau uprising. Then I was taken by my grandfather. My grandfather was Reverend Canon Elijah Gashanja. Reverend Canon Elijah Gashanja was the first vicar of St. Stephen's Church. By then it was St. Stephen's Church, Donholm Road, which is Jogoo Road today. So I used to stay with my grandfather in the vicarage of St. Stephen's.
Wakati huo kulikuwa na huyo Elijah Gashanja, hata kulikuwa na Archdeacon Edwin Adinya was here. Na mimi nakumbuka ya kwamba hata ubatizo nilibatizwa hapa, alafu sasa kukelewa mkono, that's confirmation. It was a big ceremony because it was by the Archbishop of then East Africa, Archbishop Bicha. Ndio atuwekelea mkono hapa.
Dhambi zangu zimenilemea, kimbilio langu ni mafanikio. Hapo nitamwona Bwana wangu msalabani.
The choir department is one of the most outstanding in the country, founded by the late Professor George Senoga Zek in 1956. The St. Stephen's Church Choir became a formidable music force after Professor Zek, one of the 5 Kenyans who composed the Kenyan national anthem. Some of the notable choir masters include Chris Sikuku and Daniel Madalanga, who is the current choir director.
St. Stephen ndio ilikuwa number 1 katika Nairobi nzima. St. Stephen sisi ndio ilikuwa tunaalikwa kuliko watu wengine. Sisi ndio ilikuwa tunaalikwa St. Stephen.
The choir took the lead in glorifying God not only in the church but also in the nation.
Tulipokuja hapa kulikuwa hakuna choir. Ilikuwa ni ngoma ilikuwa inapigwa zile beat boom boom. Kuna mzee mmoja alikuwa vaja hapa, alikuwa anaitwa John Mark Mungai. Ndiye alikuwa anapiga ngoma pale. Ile style ya twendeni boom boom hivyo na sisi tunafuata. mpaka huyu marehemu Graham Hislop, kwa sababu alihusika sana na kuanzisha hiyo kwaya ya St. Stephen's, akaja yeye na George, akamleta George zake.
Choirs make churches very lively. St. Stephen's Choir was popularized by the late Darius Mbera, especially during the demise of the late first president of this country, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta.
Na tazama kilele cha mlima wa Kenya, naona maajabu ya wingu jeusi, sio wingu la mvua hakika, bali ni la msiba. Mzee wetu Kenyatta ameaga dunia.
St. Stephen's Cathedral came to my heart in 1978 when Kenyatta died, because of the songs that the St. Stephen's Choir used to sing. I never thought by then that I would probably become a member of the St. Stephen's or anything close. But pokea moyo wangu, e Mungu wangu, na tazama kilele cha mlima wa Kenya. Those songs that they used to sing at State House. I don't think there was any other choir that was renowned like it was. And of course, the late Darius Bella.
Bella was a very caring man for his family, for others. The choir was like a family to him. 1965 is when he came to St. Stephen's. And he taught the choir after Zake. There was a director before called Zake. The St. Stephen Church Choir was like a family. That was his second family. He loved them and he wanted to help each one of them to reach the level that he wanted in music. He made the choir members own the choir. If you're going to sing, you had to be serious. He instilled discipline in them because he said without discipline, you can't get anywhere. He loved music. Like he had Heri Maziwa. Heri Maziwa, uliyonyonya. I love that song.
I started the one at Canon Apollo Primary School, Mbotela. That was 1959. By then, to come to the music, George Zake was the choir master and organist of St. Stephen's Church. And George Zake used to come, he used to go around to teach music for music festivals in schools. So he also used to come to our primary school. And that's when I started singing in a choir.
Mimi nilianza St. Stephen kama mwanakwaya ambaye kwaya master alikuwa Darius Bella 1965. Baada ya kwenda, kwa sababu nilikuwa nazifunza kidogo, nikapewa niwe nikipiga hiyo. Baada ya Sister Martin alikuwa organist, kuenda contract kuisha, nilikuwa nimejifunza kinanda miaka 3, nikaruhusiwa kupiga hiyo kinanda kubwa.
Rekodi ya kwanza nafikiri ni ile tulifanya na nani, Pokea Moyo Wangu ilikuwa ndio ya kwanza. Pokea Moyo Wangu, Siri ya Ushindi. Pokea Moyo Wangu, Siri ya Ushindi. Alafu pia kulikuwa na hiyo sasa tuseme akina Heri Maziwa na gani nyingine hapo hivi. Tribute to Mzee ilikuja baadaye wakati wa Jomo Kenyatta, na zingine ndogo ndogo. Unajua ni wakati wa hizi sahani za century, sahani za century zile za kunzuka hivi, zilikuwa sio tape, na zingine nyingi hapo hivi.
St. Stephen Church was an unequaled voice championing for the rights of Kenyan workers. It has led to awards of Guinness Stout Effort Award, and most recently, the youth choir won Battle of Choirs Easter Festival.
Those days, if you anything that you have to sing in church, just to have that melody of the church. If you have anything like traditional, even if you're singing Christian music and it doesn't sound like Christian music, we are not allowed to sing it in church. Yeah. So sometimes I find them singing outside and I wonder, oh, you'll be just from church or what?
Sisi hapa tulikuwa tunaimba hata patriotic songs pia tulikuwa tunazimba. Kama moja ilikuwa na ambayo ilitia fora sana, ilikuwa inasema sikilizeni kisa cha uhuru wetu Kenya, mateso watu wa Kenya walivyo mwaga damu nyingi, risasi zilifyatuliwa tetele hivyo Anton, mabomu yalivyoangushwa bum 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 bum.
St. Stephen's has played a major role in shaping the political and social welfare of the Kenyan people. The trade union movement, Crescent Kotu, in both pre- and post-colonial periods in Kenya have sought both refuge and guidance at the church. Similarly, some political movement leaders like Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, Fred Kubai, Mahan Singh, Bildad Kagia, Thomas Joseph Mboya, Charles Robia, and Joseph Mugala trace their spiritual origins to this church. On 1st September 2002, the Archbishop of the Anglican Church of Kenya, Reverend Dr. David Gitari, elevated the church to the status of Cathedral. Reverend Peter Njoka was elected as the first bishop of the new Diocese of Nairobi. After his retirement in July 2010, he was succeeded by Bishop Joel Waweru. Canon John Ndugu Muridhi became the first provost of the cathedral. He was known as provost who was selfless and generous, and in 2013 Canon Omungo was appointed provost replacing Canon Ndungu. He developed a strategic plan for the cathedral and is credited with building a wall around the cathedral and laying cabro on the parking lot. The Very Reverend Canon Paul Karaoke Mwangi became the provost of St. Stephen's Cathedral in 2018, replacing Canon Omungo. He successfully steered the cathedral through the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, laying the foundation of a digital church that began online church services. St. Stephen's has various departments which have been formed to assist in the implementation of the policies as well as the strategic plan. These include the Kenya Anglican Men's Association, which was founded in the year 2000, with its main objective being to raise a generation of men who are well trained and equipped to contribute to the spiritual and economic growth needs of the society. The Mothers' Union, which aims at strengthening the institution of marriage, upbringing of children in the ways of the church, improving the prayer life of families, and service to the community. The church is very passionate about the youth and it gives them space to use their talents and energy. The youth is a department that adds value to the cathedral and has various wings dealing with specific needs of the youth. The Children Ministry Department handles Sunday school classes of children up to age 19 years.
This was my home, and it is still my home even now. I have seen this place grow.
Humu ndani ndipo mahali ambapo marehemu babu yangu, bali na kule kuabudu hapa kanisani, alikuwa mzee wa kanisa na alikuwa pia lay reader wa kanisa hili, na pia alikuwa kiongozi mashuhuri sana wa kwaya ambayo ilikuwa ikiimba hapa katika kanisa hili. Niliozwa katika kanisa hili la St. Stephen's Jogoo Road hapa Nairobi tarehe 6 mwezi wa Juni mwaka wa 1970. Hapo ndipo nilipomnyakua na kumwoa mke wangu Alice.
Nairobi has two cathedrals. One is All Saints Cathedral, which is the cathedral of the Archbishop. St. Stephen's Cathedral is the cathedral of the Bishop of Nairobi. So people often confuse saying the cathedral in Nairobi is called All Saints Cathedral. No, Nairobi's cathedral is called St. Stephen's Cathedral.
And St. Stephen's Cathedral is a mother church because it has planted many churches. When I was there, God led us to plant a church in Lunga Lunga, in the Kijiji. And for the people that were coming to St. Stephen's now would be where?
And the cathedral is not just an Anglican cathedral. It is a national monument.
It is time to look back and see how far God has led us.
Celebrations is coming together and enjoying what we have gone through and what we have experienced and what we have seen.
It needs people to see beyond the four walls of the cathedral and realize that we are called to influence the city, the nation, and the world.
As we commemorate 120 years of St. Stephen's Cathedral, we honor the pioneers, the faithful, and the dedicated clergy who have nurtured this remarkable community. Their legacy of faith continues to inspire and guide us all. Today, we come together to honor the past and embrace the future of St. Stephen's Cathedral.
This is a very unique moment and a very unique year for us when we celebrate 100 years, centenary celebration. They come once in a lifetime.
I would urge the whole diocese and friends and well-wishers to come. We celebrate the goodness and the faithfulness of God.
It is historical. It is also unique for us. I thank God that they are coming in when I am the provost and when you and I are the family of St. Stephen's Cathedral.